We got him! Good morning and welcome to episode 2 of my Let's Play series where we're playing through Orna, the GPS RPG. My name is Modangy and I'm coming to you from Australia via the power of a way vessel. Let's get straight into it. So, as a quick recap from episode 1, we picked up our main story quest. So we created a character to start with, went with a warrior, picked up our main story quest, which was to defeat 10 blue slimes, which we have completed successfully. We got all the way to level 10 throughout that journey, and that allowed us to pick a faction. We've picked Earthen Legion, so if you do want to play along with the series and you're starting a new character, maybe pick Earthen Legion, just the off chance that we get to do some kingdom activities together. And then we also got a sick legendary Fallen Warriors sword that's really going to carry us through the start of the game. So we're getting straight into episode 2. Our goals for today is to progress a little bit more in the story and potentially get to level 25. So throughout that we're going to be cutting a little bit, and as I get through the story missions I might not show you that entire content because it's just going to be killing things on repeat, but I want to show you some cool things along the way. So one of the things that did happen in episode 1 was we got this legendary Fallen Warriors sword. So you guys didn't unfortunately get to see that as it happened when my phone had overheated. Goddamn Australian summer. But I want to show you that now, and it gives me an opportunity to show you guys how to equip gear as well. So first things first, what we're going to check here, you can see on this screen up the top right we have a little notification. So I'm going to click on that to start, and my first ally request. G'day Dro, thank you. So now we're going to have an ally show up in our ally list here. Look at Sir Dro there. This guy is an absolute beast. Thanks, mate. Ally number 1. Dro is an absolute monster. He's in the top 100 on the leaderboards. And he's an Orna lifer, really knowledgeable and friendly as well. If you ever see him around the main Discord or Reddit, he'll always help you out, so thanks Dro. Now if you remember at the end of episode 1 we actually put something in the blacksmith in order to start this story quest, the blacksmiths, which is to upgrade one item which will give us a fine whetstone. So we've actually got a blacksmith here. We did put these hard leather boots in there, so they've upgraded from level 1 to level 2. Which is great for us. So what that'll allow us to do is, if we go to that story quest now, we can complete that quest. Gives us some orns, some experience, makes us grow in level so we get even stronger, which is fantastic. And it gives us a fine whetstone, which is pretty cool. So now we can have a look at equipment. So we didn't actually cover this at all in episode 1, but we actually went from a rusty sword. So rusty sword is your starting weapon as a warrior and gives you 5 attack. So that's what will determine on our status screen here, what our attack stat is. That goes on with the class stats, your level and your gear, all adds together to add up to higher values here. So our attack's at 24 there. You'll see when I click on that slot, which is a weapon slot on the left there, the legendary Fallen Warriors sword that we picked up gives us plus 72 to our attack stat. So if you remember just there, our total attack stat was 24. We're going up plus 72 just with one equipment change. So now we're on 99. It's monstrous. It's a massive upgrade. So if you do see any fallen of your chosen class, of a fallen thief, mage or warrior, make sure that you kill them lots early on to try and get a piece of their equipment. And now we can also equip those hard leather boots that we've just upgraded to level 2. And we've got a couple of accessories here. We're fine using the defense ones at the moment. 30 dex doesn't do much for us, so we're just gonna stick with that. And then in the chest slot we're still fine with what we've got. So that's a huge deal for us. What we're gonna do as well, just to look at that, we got an achievement done. We might actually cover the achievements now. That's a good opportunity. It was one of the things that we wanted to cover in the last episode, but the phone died. So up the top right, when you click on your character menu, you do have 3 options here. One of them is a little globe that tells you things like your daily rewards and the events that are on in the game. So always good to check that if you're not quite sure what's going on. And then you've got your achievements, which is a little trophy, the next one. These achievements are a really good thing for you to check early in the game, and you can check your progress against them. So right here, reach level 25, I'm level 11 out of 25. When I hit 25, I'll get 50 Orns. And then we've got other ones along the way, like defeat 100 monsters, and it'll go up and up the more we complete. These are a really good source of Orns early in the game, and you do need Orns for your class upgrades, so this is something that's really important for you to keep track of the achievements that you've got going on and try to complete them each day. Complete them along the way, I should say. Speaking of complete them each day, the other thing that we're checking, so we've got our story quest, but you've also got this little tab here called Today. These daily quests are a fantastic source of Orns, especially early in the game. So if you have the opportunity to complete these on a daily basis, make sure you do. So just open the Today tab in that quest menu, have a look at what's there, and they will be flagged with a little exclamation mark, but it just helps you think about what you need to do. It might include ones like upgrading items, defeating arena opponents, or going for a walk. Those things can actually be quite lucrative early in the game, so get them done. And the higher level you are, or I should say the higher tier you are, you'll get more and more daily quests, so keep an eye on those. So our first step of today's episode is to kill goblins. So you'll see that they're chapter 2, quest chapter 2, the goblins. So we're going to kill 5 of those now, and I just want to show you, fighting one of them, how strong our, if I can hit, our attack stat is. Look at that. One hit and I'm killing goblins. This is a massive upgrade for us. So this is a really big deal. So I'm not going to keep you guys waiting while I go through and find 5, or unless I get it done really quick. If we get it done really quick, then I will keep you here. But otherwise, yeah, I'll bring you back when I'm on my last goblin. Alright, we'll talk in a second. Okay, we're back. So we've killed 4 or 5 of these goblins. Now we just need to kill our 5th one to progress in the main story. So let's do that now, and let's see what our next story quest is. So we can go in here, we can complete this. It's going to give us a cannon waystone, which is actually pretty helpful for the upcoming story quests. So that's done. Next one, kill 5 goblin mages, and that gives us a whetstone, and we're going to use that today. So I really want to show you this. I'll be back in a moment once we've killed our 5 goblin mages. Okay, I do just want to show you guys something really quickly, because I got to level 15 and I got a new skill called lunge. So I want to show you that really quickly. Just like equipment, rather than clicking on the equipment, we're going to click on skills. Through Orna, there are a whole heap of different skills. There are melee skills, there are magic skills, there are things that are neither an element or physical. It's pretty cool. There's a whole range of them. There's defensive, offensive, there's buffs, debuffs. You'll learn it all through following this series or playing yourself. And different classes have a different amount of skill slots, so that will increase over time as well. But what we're going to do here is in skill slot 1, we're actually going to insert lunge, which is a new skill that we've got. And if you read the text on that, so we'll just go back, lunge, run at your enemy with your weapon extended for a 50% critical chance. So that's pretty cool. It means that this one, it will either crit or it will not. It can actually also miss, so it's not quite 50%, but that's really awesome. Look at that, 180 damage at the very start of the game. This is, well, it costs 25 mana as the downside, and I don't have a huge amount of mana as a warrior, but that is huge damage. So if you happen to come across any bosses in the world that you're really struggling with, you can actually utilize that skill early in the game to help you really take down their health. And as we talked about in episode 1, you don't have to kill things in one run in Orna. You can do some damage to it and then return to it. So this is a great skill for taking down some hard bosses early in the game. You can use lunge, do a fair bit of damage. You might die, but that's okay. You can then wait till you're recovered, wait 5 minutes and re-engage the boss and slowly whittle it down and eventually kill it, which is fantastic. Gets you that cool gear that bosses drop. There's some cool consumables that bosses drop. Lots of Orns is the big thing. So if you want to get lots of Orns in this game, you probably do want to be killing world bosses quite a lot. So yeah, look through your skills as you unlock them. There can be some really useful ones there. and I think that we're getting close to our goblin mages. How many have we got? We've only got 3, so I'll come back once I have the final 2 done. Okay, we've got our final goblin mage right here. It says 3 of 5, but I just killed one. So we're going to kill this thing, and then we can go to our quest log here, 5 of 5. We're going to complete the quest. That'll give us a whetstone plus our orns and experience. Fantastic. Let's look at the next one. So the next one's a boss. I'll show you how to go about that in a moment. But first off, I want to talk about this whetstone that we just picked up. So if we go to our inventory, we can check under new and it's in there, but also we can look under items. So a whetstone, it's a stone that allows you to freely upgrade whatever item, whatever weapon I should say, is equipped in your world loadout to level 2 without having to wait for the blacksmith timer. So this is a really big deal. It's not just the blacksmith timer, but rather the material cost as well. So if we were to go to the blacksmith right here and we wanted to upgrade our legendary fallen warrior's sword, it would cost us 3 steel, but it would also cost an hour's time to get that to happen. So we can use our whetstone to do that for free, and I want to show you what happens to that item by doing that. So at the moment it's sitting at 77 attack. If I go to my items and use this whetstone, now my fallen warrior's sword has gone to level 2. And if we go to our equipment, 93 attack now. This is big. This is a monster for early in the game. So yeah, definitely want to be using the first whetstone that you get on something like a fallen item, ideally of a higher quality. If you don't get one that's a legendary, it's okay. You can make do with a superior or a famed. If you get an ornate, amazing. But the fallen warrior, mage and thief weapons are an ideal first use for your whetstone. In fact, I'm actually going to use a fine whetstone as well, which takes it from level 2 to 3 for the same thing. No cost to me for materials or blacksmith timer. So let's do that. So let's see where our weapon has gotten to now. 101 from 77, and compare that to the rusty sword we were using. 96 additional attack there. That is massive. We've also unlocked a couple of extra slots there, including a head slot. So we're going to put something in our head slot there. We're just going to quickly check through our gear and see if there's anything better that we can be wearing. We'll put that on, and I think that we are all good. So the next step is this Bandit Lord. You know, on your compass layer here that you can turn on your bosses to view what bosses are in the area. But you might find that in this game you're not going to have the bosses that you need spawn directly on top of you to do your main story quest. So there's a couple of ways that you can complete this. So one, if you do have the freedom of movement, understanding that it's COVID time, it's a little bit tricky right now to move around. If you do have freedom of movement, you can actually utilize this new item that we just got, the Cannon Waystone. There we go. We actually already had one as well. But we can utilize a Cannon Waystone to help it mark out where we could find one of those bosses. So if I use that, what will happen is eventually there'll be a compass marker pop up for us that'll point us to a Bandit Lord. If there's one close by, if there's not, sometimes these can't. And then what you can do is you can just walk, go find it, it'll point directly to where it is, and then you can walk directly to that boss and get it. The other way is that eventually you actually unlock the ability to do gauntlets. So you'll see here it requires tier 3 and it requires gauntlet keys. So you can do these as a boss mode gauntlet, or you can do them as a regular gauntlet. And that actually has the opportunity to face these bosses in the dungeons. So these are like a waved event where you'll kill one enemy at a time for a certain amount of waves. Early on, I think it's 10 floors. So this is a way that you can get your main story quest done if you can't leave the house. So all you need to do is just keep on killing things until you get to tier 3. So tier 1 is at 0 to 24, tier 2 is 25 to 49, and tier 3 is anything above level 50. So once you've hit level 50, you'll be able to freely do your dungeons. So that's not too bad. It just means sitting here and grinding monsters. They will spawn infinitely for you. So keep doing that, you know, keep sitting here and tapping, hitting your lunge or your attack, and just slowly get your XP that way, and you will eventually get to level 50, and it's no great sweat. I'm playing quite slow because I'm doing a lot of explaining at the same time, but to get to level 50 won't take you very long at all, at most maybe a couple of hours. So you just sit here and kill a heap of things, and eventually you'll be able to do dungeons and you'll be able to progress through your main story. So that main story is a really important thing at the start of the game. So what we're going to do though, is we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to try and find a Bandit Lord. I will see you when I locate one, so we will talk soon. We got him! So I was out scoping this little location to do the intro of this video. Whoop, put that a little bit further away from my head. And our cannon waystone kicked in, and we actually managed to find a Bandit Lord, which is only 1,075 meters away. So we're gonna go try and hunt him down. So I will see you guys when I find him. All right, we found him. The boy's sitting here in a local skate park. So we've found a Bandit Lord, we've found another pharaoh. Along the way though, we actually killed a few things. We killed even a boss or two. So if I have a look at my codex now, if I go to bosses, there we go, I've killed an arachne, and that actually boosted my level quite a lot. So you'll see now that I'm on level 30, so I've gone ahead and skipped past level 25, but I'll show you something when I'm back at home that being level 25 allows us to do. What we're going to do now is we're just going to decimate this guy with our Fallen Warrior's sword. So look at that, we're just lucky. And we've already gone up another level as well, a famed axe off this boy, which means we can now complete another quest, get us a thieves ring, and then our next one is for a goblin lord. So I think we'll do that in episode 2. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring you guys back home, and we'll have a look at what being level 25 does for us. So we'll talk to you in a moment. Okay, welcome back home. It's been a good day today. We've managed to progress our story quest. We're now up to the 5th chapter where we have to kill a goblin lord. We'll do that at a different point in time. I did want to show you guys something now that I've hit level 25. So now that I am level 25, we have the opportunity to join a kingdom. There's something that you can do early in the game. You can either join a kingdom, or you could wait until level 150 and create your own. One piece of advice that I'd probably give people who are just starting out is, in the first instance, just try joining a kingdom, maybe get the feel of it. If you want to make your own later, you can do that. But there are certain things that need to be unlocked as a kingdom progresses. So joining one from the get-go means that you're more likely to have access to some cool things as soon as you start. So if we go and have a look here, we can hit join kingdom, and it'll just come up with a whole heap of Earthen Legion kingdoms because we are in the Earthen Legion faction. Here you have the option to choose based on your language preference. So, you know, for me, I could go English AU, and any kingdom that has chosen to use English Australian as their main language will pop up there. Same with any other one. So Spanish, we've got German. You can use whatever language and they'll pop up there, which is really cool. You can also look at activity level, so engagement level. Some kingdoms will flag that they have requirements for high engagement, which will mean that you would be expected to do your daily tasks. So yeah, that's some cool little filters that you can look at. So for here, we could go in and join any kingdom. For now, I'm just going to join it for the purposes of showing you something quickly. So if we grab one that has maybe at least 6 members in it. So we'll grab this one for now. And apologies to little Kenish, because we're going to just jump in and we're going to jump out again. But when we join the kingdom, what will happen is we get brought to this kingdom hall, and it shows us a whole heap of cool new things. So there's wars. So what happens in kingdoms in Orna is that you will fight different opponents in wars. You can do it once a day, or more frequently if the wars end quicker. And every member of the kingdom, in most cases, will get paired up against the opposition kingdom, and you'll fight it out. So you'll get one battle each on offense and defense. and then the winner of that will win the Kingdom War, which awards Orns. And the Orns for the Kingdom, you can see at the top there's 397,000 Orns, get used on raids. So raids are a really big thing in Orna, and I think we'll explain that at a later point in time. But that's where you can get some of the coolest gear, and yeah, some of the coolest gear. You can get a lot of Orns, you can get a lot of XP, a lot of materials. Raids are super cool, and you get to do this as a joint activity as a kingdom. You can see that multiple people have harmed Dracon here. And then you have Kingdom Gauntlets as well. We might touch on some of that stuff later on. There's Kingdom Quests, so you can do a whole heap of stuff as a community, which is super awesome. There's research, there's all this other stuff. So you can actually see that in a lot of different kingdoms, they will have Discords set up, or Reddits, or Telegrams, or WhatsApps, which makes it a lot easier to chat to each other. You also actually have in your regional chat option down the bottom left, you actually have a kingdom chat right here where you can talk with other members of your kingdom, and there's a couple of channels there for raids and for wars, just set up so that if there are conversations that need to happen that pertain to those specific things, you get to talk to them about, talk to people in game about it, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we can join a kingdom now. What we're actually going to be doing is joining a kingdom of my friend Shabash. He's got one called the Arisen Orna Legends, but I do need him to unlock it in order for me to get in, so I'll have to coordinate that at a time where he is online. For now, we're going to leave this kingdom, and yeah, I'll probably do that at a point off camera. We'll jump into Arisen Orna Legends and we'll start doing our daily kingdom tasks as we play through this series. So yeah, as a quick little recap, we got through a bit of our main story quest today. We actually got to use a cannon waystone to find a boss for the main story quest, so we killed that Bandit Lord. We killed a couple of other bosses along the way. We got out and about, which was awesome, and we got to use whetstones, so I got to show you guys how those work. So at the moment, our fallen warrior's sword is looking pretty good. We're really tracking along well. And yeah, we got to show off how to equip skills, how to equip different gear. So yeah, we're really getting a sense of how to play this game. So I'll be coming back to you pretty soon. I'd like to keep this fairly regular. If you have any questions, just don't feel afraid to send me a message on Twitter at Modangy_NF. You can ally this character as well. Actually, I might just check. There you go, got another ally request there. Balinor, he is an absolute legend, a Gilgamesh god. So yeah, you can send me an ally request if you want. There is chats in here, so you can send me questions in the game as well, and I'll try to answer them. But yeah, even just send me an ally request so I can check in on your progress as you're playing along. I'd really like to enjoy this with you guys. So thank you so much. We will continue this on, so I'll see you in episode 3, hopefully not too long. Have a good morning.